I grew up as a Cowboys fan. And that's all well and good, but Rocky Bleier is here with us on Radio Row at Super Bowl 49. Rocky and his Steelers denied the Cowboys in a couple of Super Bowls, but those were pretty darn good football games.
They were, I suppose I look back at them and I'm saying they were some of the great Super Bowls that I watched or and that we've been part of. But over the years, I mean, they were named players, they were great teams, they were close games, comeback games, exciting, could have happened, should have, and so they'll always have a special memory, and playing against the Cowboys,
and playing against the Cowboys. Even though you guys didn't play each other much, the games you played were big, and there was a rivalry there, wasn't there?
Sure. Well, of course, when you when you wear the mantle, America's team, you got a lot of people shooting at you.
Did that make did you guys use that as motivation? I mean, the Cowboys didn't. They didn't. Landry hated it, I'm told.
I'm sure he did, because it gave fuel for everybody else that came in and played. Fan bases and America. What do you mean America's team and so on and so on. But yeah, that did fuel part of that rivalry, and plus the fact was it was a class organization with great players, and when you come up against them, you want to play your best, and so and you're right, we only got a chance to play very seldom, maybe an exhibition game here or there, very seldom during the season, but usually we got a chance in the Super Bowl.
Rocky's story is remarkable. You've been called a hero many times. You went from the U.S. Army and Vietnam to the Super Bowl. That's a remarkable ride.
And I think that people look at it in that regards. I just look at it being maybe a right place, right time. Also given an opportunity, and I think that's probably the biggest thing. I don't know whether it would happen today, and I would like to think that within professional sports that a player would get a chance or an opportunity. But going back then, 45 years ago, and I came out of the service and joined the Steelers allowed me to come back, and they bought me 2 years. And I have to say this, and they took. I was on injured reserve the first year, and I made the taxi squad, which does not exist anymore. It's a development. Oh, it's a practice squad now. And so that gave me 2 years of healing, getting better, stronger, and faster. But ultimately, you have to prove yourself or get a chance to be able to make the team. And so in the early part of the 70s, as that team was starting to come, I got to play special teams in 72, and then we get the immaculate reception. 73 gets a little bit better, and 74, because of injuries, you get a chance and an opportunity. We go to our first Super Bowl in 74, and then thereafter. And so you look back on it and you go, oh yeah. But if it wasn't for the Rooney family specifically, it wasn't for Mr. Rooney to give me that chance, and Dan, his son, I wouldn't be sitting here today talking to you.
4 out of 6, though, that ain't bad.
No, it isn't. And you look at but free. I don't know whether that happened today, only because of free agency that would take place. But out of that group, there are 22 players that were the core that were in all 4 Super Bowls. Like the 49ers only had one up. And it was 1-1. And the 49ers the following year had 5 that transcend, that 9-year period. It was something special because of that.
Rocky Bleier's with us finally. Who wins on Sunday, Rocky? The Seahawks were a running football team, and you guys were a running football team, and you can play D, and they can play D.
They can play, and the Pats, it's one of those games where you look at, okay, I think it's, it's very close. My edge is going to the Pats. My edge is going to the Pats only because of Bill Belichick and his thoroughness in getting his players prepared for a game of this nature and having been there before. That's the edge that I think will help them win.
Many support the Wounded Warrior Amputee Foundation, the football team. The game is coming up tonight in Phoenix, and Rocky Bleier will be a part of it here at Radio Row at Super Bowl 49. Appreciate
Bill,
you, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me.
Rocky Bleier.
Okay.